What's up guys, this is Miasin. So I wanted to make a Centur-Ion combo video and deck profile for quite a while, but I forgot, so my bad for being super late to the party. But yo, better late than never, right? But yeah, this deck is really good. The new level 8 Synchro Monster, not even new, I mean, it's from the most recent core set, but we're almost moving into the next one. So again, I really should have made this video before. But yeah, before we go any further, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. And also a huge shout out to my sponsors, Inspire TCG as well as Dueling. Their Black Friday sale is now on, so please check them out because they have discounts on all their products in stock. So the link will be in the description box below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number one is assuming that you have the Field Spell or Primera, and even if you have Trudea, it's literally the exact same thing. It's just that the sequencing is going to be a little bit different at the very beginning, but it's still going to end up on the exact same board. So yeah, Field Spell, discard your whatever card, and then place the Primera, and then special summon that is going to be searching the Trudea. So if you open up with Trudea, you're just going to be using Trudea effect, place the Primera, search the Field Spell, and then you're going to be placing the card that Trudea would have been placing here, which would have been the Gargoyle. So again, it's the exact same situation at this point. But yeah, special summon the Gargoyle and then Synchro Summon into the Primera. This is a level 8 Synchro Monster, and Gargoyle is a level 8, but it can also turn into a level 4 once you summon it from the Spell and Trap Zone. It's kind of like the exact opposite of Trudea. So you can go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Gargoyle, recycle back from graveyard to the hand, and you're going to be searching the Emblem of Oath with this card, and you're going to be activating it. So place your Hatchery from deck to your Spell and Trap Zone. And this card is very interesting because you can special summon it, and if it is summoned, normal or special, and you have both an Emblema card and a Centur-Ion card in your grave, you can draw a card, but then you cannot special summon this card for the rest of the turn. Now, you don't want to use this effect yet. You want to be using its effect at the very end, because if you use the effect right now to draw a card, you will not be able to revive it back again, and this is actually going to be kind of a problematic for a combo. So yeah, don't use the effect to draw a card yet, and then Synchro Summon for the Centur-Ion Auxilla, which you can actually treat as a non-tuner monster, so that's the reason why we were able to turn, I guess, 2 tuners into a Synchro Monster. That is going to be searching the Wake Up, and then Wake Up is going to be summoning a level 4, and then you're going to be banishing the Wake Up to send a Phalanx, and then Phalanx effect, recycle back your Primera Primus. And then you're going to be Synchro Summoning for Crimson Dragon, that is going to be searching the Synchro Humble. So I guess it's one of the quote-unquote bricks that you gotta play. And then Crimson Dragon, tag out into Cosmic Blazar. From here on out, you cannot get Nibiru, obviously. And then you can go Synchro Humble, revive back the Centur-Ion Hatchery. Draw a card, since you have a Emblema card and a Centur-Ion card in the grave. And then finally, use the Gargoyle, pitch the Trudea, and then special summon the Lagatia, draw another card. And then on the end phase, we place back 2 Centur-Ion cards, one from the graveyard and one from the grave and or banished. So even if we get hit by a Bestial, it's not gonna matter. And then we can summon back the Hatchery and the Gargoyle. Hatchery can draw a card again, and then we can quick sync in the Crimson Dragon, recycle back the Gargoyle. So we have a bunch of cards in the hand at this point, so board breakers are really bad against this deck. Tag out the Crimson Dragon into either another Cosmic Blazar or something like Red Supernova Dragon, which is insane if it resolves. Not to mention that this is like an unbreakable board for Tenpai. Like, all of your monsters are super strong, you can cancel out your opponent's battle phase if you can get to this point. And again, it doesn't really lose to Regeki because it also doesn't lose to Duster because Auxilla protects all of your cards in the Spell and Trap Zone, and then Cosmic Blazar can be an Omni-Negate. Red Supernova Dragon cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. It's a huge inconvenience of a field. But yeah, let's get into combo number 2. Okay, so let's just say that you have Bonfire or Trudea or Emblema, and then you get hit by Dimension Shifter. So you have 7 something starters that can beat Shifter, which is really nice. So yeah, Bonfire, search Trudea, or just normal summon Trudea right away. Place the Primera and then special summon that is going to be searching for the Wake Up, and then you activate that and you summon a level 8 token. Synchro Summon into Auxilla, and that's going to be searching your Field Spell. You activate it, and then you pass. You cannot use the Field Spell under Shifter since it has to send a card from the hand to the graveyard as a cost, so that's an illegal activation, unfortunately. And Auxilla can also recycle, well, place a Centur-Ion card from the banished into the Spell and Trap Zone. So on your opponent's turn, you go Primera, Trudea, and then search Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. I really recommend going Chainlink 1, Field Spell, Chainlink 2, Primera, so that you do dodge Impulse, because you'd rather get Impulsed on one of your Centur-Ion monsters than get Impulsed on the Field Spell, unless it doesn't really matter because that's all you've got. But if you've got like a third name, that's how you want to play it out. But yeah, summon your Crimson Dragon and also search like follow-up for your Primera, and then that can summon like a Red Supernova Dragon or Cosmic Blazar or whatever. Anything that you want at this point off of one single card through Shifter. So in this situation, let's just say that your hand is not really good. You've got Centur-Ion Hatchery with either Lubellion and a Light or Dark in the graveyard, or another Lubellion, because that also works, and another discard. So yeah, normal summon your, I guess, Lubellion first, search the Magnamut, and then Magnamut effect, banish, and then effect to get your end phase search, and then Lubellion, and then that is going to be placing the Regained, and then normal summon the Atri, that's a level 4 tuner, so with Lubellion, that makes your Oxyla, and then you can search your field spell, and from here on out, it's not exactly full combo, but almost, so you can get Trudea access, and then Trudea gets your Primera. That is going to be special summoning itself, and then search your Wake Up, of course. And then Wake Up, summon a level 8 token. I think you can see where this is going, but it's not going to go into Crimson Dragon, unfortunately, so you got to go into the Primera Primus. And then Wake Up, send the Phalanx, Emblema, place the Gargoyle, and then special summon that, and transform itself into a level 4, summon the Centur-Ion Legatia. We couldn't go for a Crimson Dragon to search Synchro-Rumble, because Emblema, unfortunately, locks us under only being able to special summon Centur-Ion from the extra deck, well, Centur-Ion monsters from the extra deck, while we control a card with the same name as the Centur-Ion monster that we placed in the Spell and Trap Zone. It's really annoying, so we couldn't have went for a Crimson Dragon, and then Phalanx, revive back the Primus, and then Synchro-Rumble, revive back the Atri. Otherwise, that would have been super broken. But in this kind of situation, if you physically hard draw the Synchro-Rumble, it's actually going to be insane, because you can go for the Gargoyle summon, and then Rumble, revive back the Outtree, draw a card, and then go for another Crimson Dragon, so that on your opponent's turn, it's even more pressure. Well, I mean, you can go into Crimson Dragon, into Cosmic Blazar right away. It's absolutely insane. So it's gonna be full combo if you draw like a brick, so sometimes drawing the brick is not even bad. And on the end phase, Magnamode searches Baldric, so that's in another interruption. And they can use its effect by banishing, by tributing the Legatia, which also adds an extra interruption on your opponent's turn. But yeah, you can summon your Outtree and your Trudea, so summon the Crimson Dragon, draw a card, and then search your Synchro-Rumble, tag out into Cosmic Blazar or Red Supernova Dragon. And then you can summon the Baldric, tribute to the Legatia, and then use the graveyard effect of Phalanx, revive back the Legatia, destroy an opponent's card, and then draw a card again. So yeah, it's a lot of interruptions, very well layered, and very resilient. So again, even if you had like Primera as your starter, and then you got Veilered, for example, then with Lubellion, it's pretty much like full recovery. So Veiler is really bad against this deck, but Imperm a little better, because at least there is no light or dark in the graveyard. Again, all of that just because there was like a light or dark in grave. That's kind of insane. Okay, so for the deck profile, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So 6 normal summons. I guess, I mean, there's kind of like the Atri, so that kind of counts, but it's not really a starter. But yeah, Primera, Trudea, Emblema, as well as 3 field spells and the Terraforming. So yeah, 13 starters out of 40. That's like an 87-something% chance of getting your stuff going. And there is other like obscure ways of still kind of playing the game. Trudea and Oath are the best ones under Shifter. I mean, they're the only ones under Shifter, because Primera doesn't really do much of anything. And the field spell doesn't even, I mean, it can't even use its effect. So if you activate the field spell and then your opponent uses Shifter on the activation, or on the resolution of the activation, you're going to be in a bad position, because if you, in case you didn't know, the field spell, it's not like a true draconic diagram where every single turn you can place a Centur-Ion monster from your deck in your spell and trap zone by pitching a card. It's only during the main phase if it was activated this turn. So you keep that in mind, because a lot of people, for some reason, they don't know that, so they think that every single turn they have like free follow for days, but that is sadly not the case. So sometimes people kind of make this deck appear like it's way better than it really is, when in reality it does have some flaws. But if you still know how to play this deck really well, it will get you very far, as we can clearly see with, you know, Pack going undefeated during the Swiss rounds, and then winning in top 32 and only losing in top 16. And then for the bricks, we've got Gargoyle, the Atri, as well as the Centur-Ion Bonds. So it's a worse version of Emblema of Oath, but Emblema Oath. So if you don't want to play it, then whatever, just cut it. But there are some nice interactions with it. And also plays back Centur-Ion monsters in your graveyard and your spell and trap zone again and again and again. It's kind of cool. Wake Up is an absolute necessity though, because that summons a token and it foolishes for Phalanx. And Phalanx, you can either play it as a 2-of, so that if you draw one, then you foolish the other. Or if you want to, you can also only play one, and if you draw, then you foolish it. It's also a good card to use as an interruption on your opponent's turn. So I like it, but whatever. I don't really recommend playing like too many dead cards either, because there's also Regain, Lubellion, so a lot of cards that don't necessarily do anything like productive on their own, and also the Synchro-Rumble. And then finally for the hand traps, very obvious, 3 Bestials, so the Magnamode, Jew's Worm, and Baldric, as well as 3 Foros, could even be like Jordan Logbird, whatever, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm, and 2 Ogre. So that's 12, 14, 17 hand traps. That's not too bad. 17 hand traps and 40, and 13 starters, as well as whatever, like 10 other cards that are not necessarily terrible, but you just don't want like a hand of 5 cards that is made up of like all these 10 cards. For the extra deck, we are on 1 Primera Primus. Maybe the second one comes up, I'm not sure. Double Blazar Dragon, as well as double Legatia, 1 Oxyla, 1 Crimson, 1 Red Supernova, 1 Bestial Dispatter because of your Bestials level 6 and your level 4 tuners, and then Chaos Angel that you can also make at any moment using like a Bestial and like a I don't know, like a Trudea even, or like a Primera, obviously. So that's a light and dark Chaos Angel. It's even better. And Chaos Archfiend is like an MVP in this deck. It's really, really good. And if it dies by an opponent's card, you can summon the Chaos Angel from your extra deck. So it's even better now, and it's very easy to summon in this deck. You just need your Primera and your Trudea, or even your Gargoyle, and you're ready to go. But you cannot make it without you because that is a dark tuner, and you do need a light tuner and a non-tuner dark monster to make it. So it's not like super generic. Anyways, for the other cards, Typhon, SP, IP, I'm not sure how often the IP comes up, but whatever, you might as well have it. And the Artemis, there are some lines where Artemis does come up. If, for example, all you have is like Primera and Lubellion, and you get, well, actually that was that's kind of like a bad example, but like, let's just say that you got Primera and like a Bestial, or even Lubellion, and then you get Impermed, then you can still kind of play the game a little bit. You can make an SP, banish a card, draw a card with a regain right away, and then you can still get your end phase search with Magnemite, your regain to summon back the Magnemite. It's a lot of follow-up, but it's not like super ideal. For the idea section, I don't really have much, but you can play like extra consistency cards in the side deck because Pack did it. So you can do like 1 Bonfire, 2 Bonfire, 3 Bonfires even, with a Prosperity, some Floodgates, like there can be 1. Deck Lockdown, I'm seeing that one everywhere in Centur-Ion. Even though this deck searches a lot, you can also just place the cards from your deck in your spell and trap zone, and then you summon them that way. So you lose way less hard to deck lockdown than your opponent does. And then Phalanx, Nibiru, Dimension Shifter, Centur-Ion Chimera. This one's like not too bad. It's not like super great either because it doesn't do anything on its own. It's kind of like Atri, and also it's not a tuner, so I'm not like a super big fan. But yeah, Mourner, Droll, and like other, and like the other copy of Primera Primus. I don't know if you necessarily want to play these cards, and I also don't really think you're trying to play Shifter in this deck. Even if you play 3 Bonfire, it's not really worth it. That's just my 2 cents. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Shifter is the wave in Centur-Ion, because I know that this deck, it just doesn't really lose too hard to it. So yeah, it depends. Maybe you can side in 3 Shifter for when you're going first. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.